Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Noobs to Pros. In today's episode, what we'll be doing is looking at the 9.2 test server. In the background, the footage that you're seeing is from the new map Fire Arc. I'm drawing my 1-to-1. Most of the changes on this map are actually to the hill, and unfortunately I happened to drive a tank that had 0 gun depression, and so I decided not to go there. So while this footage plays in the background, I'm going to talk about some of the changes that have happened in the test server, why I think they're good or bad. I think some of you might be happy, some of you might be sad, depending on which tanks you own. So the Waffen Traeger got nerfed again, which is not a surprise. I think that tank has been overpowered by quite a fair bit, and I think this just makes that tank sort of like on par with some of the other tanks in the game. I think that tank and the 183 sort of like prohibit learning at tier 10s, because they are such so good at like destroying single tanks that you make a mistake against one of them, you instantly pay for it, and you basically learn squat from that game. If you die in the first like 10 seconds of the game, all you learn is just to camp more. So I think that's not a good thing in tier 10s. So the Waffen Traeger had one of his shells removed from its 128, and so its reload time got buffed by 8 seconds for that. So its DPM is almost the same, but not quite. The hash ammo on the 183 got nerfed from 275 penetration to 230. I don't own a 183, so people in 183 can leave a comment about how useful or useless that tank is now. Because I have no reference for comparison, since I have never played that tank, so I don't know whether it was really good before or really bad now. So in other news for like tier 10s, the AMX50B also got some love. Its aim time got buffed substantially from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds, so it has more of a medium tank aim time now as opposed to heavy tank, which I think is quite good, because AMX50B was just a bad tank compared to the T57 in almost most of the respects, because the gun handling on the T57 is so much better. Aim time is much quicker, it fires in between shells so much faster, the reload time on that thing is quite insane. So all those things factor into making the MX-50B not as popular of a tank as compared to, let's say, the T57. The Leopard 1 got some love as well. I think that's a good thing, because the Leopard 1 is a very hard tank to play. I will make some video at some point about it. It needs to be played in a very, very specific way, and any little buff to it would be helpful. I wish they had made its ammo rack slightly more durable, just because you get like ammo rack in that thing so often that it just makes you want to pull your hair out. But I mean, I guess I'll take any buffs right now as it is. The other thing that got buffed, and I'm very happy for it, is the FV4202 got buffed, and that's because the FV4202 had become the worst tank to own in tier 10. I think the FV422 had fewer redeeming features than the M48 at tier 10. I think the M48 was a better tank than the FV422, even though like the gun handling's bad, you can argue all day about it, but the FV422 had nothing going for it at tier 10 anymore. And the thing is that people think about is that it used to be such a good tank, or at least I've been told. I've never played the M48 when it was super overpowered, but now it just isn't. It's just such a bad tank compared to the rest of the tier 10s. So it got some love. It's I think its rounds per minute went from like 6.45 to 6.98. I'll correct it in the video if that's not right. So it's 7 rounds a minute, effectively just under what the 7.5 rounds that the STB has, which I think is a very good thing. I think the FE422 needed some love. I don't know whether this will be enough, but I guess you're more than free to try it out on the test server and think whether you want that tank or not. One of the other things it has, it's extremely slow, but I don't know whether they're gonna fix that at any point or not. So hopefully you enjoyed this little short video. You know, I'm just gonna leave it as it is for the rest, and you can watch the fireark map. So do leave a comment if you find some of the changes interesting, and I hope to see you soon on the next episode of Noobs to Pros.